Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're all doing well. Today is day 2 of our 12 days of Christmas Slimming World friendly recipes. So if you want to find out what we're going to make today, then please stay tuned. So it's the second 12 days of Christmas Slimming World friendly recipe today, and it is a simple and quick one which will hopefully pique your interest. Now, what we are going to make today is very, very low sin, and you could make it zero sin depending upon the dip of your choice. Now, today we will be using a cranberry sauce for our dip, or maybe a little bit of a brush on marinade if you like, and that is the only sins attached to this recipe. You could, as I said, make it zero sin, and that is completely up to you at home, but I will tell you now what we're going to make. So we today are going to be making Christmas on a stick. So essentially it's a few ingredients that you will have left over from Christmas Day. You may have in your fridge just now or your freezer, and you may also have some items on your to-do shopping list that you might want to add into this to make this recipe at home. So Christmas on a stick will consist of Slimming World pork sausages, so they are zero sins attached to those. Turkey steaks, we've actually got turkey breast mini fillets, so that was just what we could get, but we're going to be using these in the recipe as well as some Maris Piper potatoes. The recipe is from the Air Fryer and Friends Slimming World book. I'm not going to hold it up too high because I don't want to be done for copyright. But anyway, you know, if you have access to this book, then absolutely fine. If you don't, please follow this recipe. It's not as it says exactly in here, but it is a very close version. So if you want to go ahead and make this and you don't have the recipe in front of you, feel free to drop me a message in the comments box below, and I will be happy to help going forward. So you also need some Brussels sprouts, grated zest and juice of 1 lemon, a tablespoon of chopped fresh thyme. We don't have fresh thyme unfortunately, but we do have dried, and it was all we could get in the shops today, so I do apologise if that offends anyone. We also have fresh sage leaves chopped. Again, we don't have fresh sage, it is in a little jar. That was all we could get, but I'm sure it will taste just as good. We also have on our list, it says on here, back bacon rashers, but we've actually got the fat-free bacon medallions, and they are sin-free on Slimming World as well. Our low-calorie cooking spray, which is a Fry Light, and as I said, if you want to use the final product, which is Cinnable, it is 1 sin. Oh no, sorry, it's 1 sin per level tablespoon. So always just double check how much you're going to be using if that is the case at home. And yeah, as I said, this won't be a very long recipe, but helpful all the same, I hope, and will give you some ideas that you can eat on the run up to Christmas, on Christmas Day, if you wanted to make little mini skewers, or Boxing Day, and any time within the year. I mean, these skewers are obviously personalisable. You can chop and change the ingredients as much as you want, and you can go with a theme, you can go with a sort of colour, maybe a sort of colour palette that you're wanting to try to reach, so sort of like red and green if you're wanting to add some peppers onto this, or maybe orange and green if you had some carrots. Of course you can add on anything you want. We're not adding carrots in today because I didn't cook them, but if you wanted to add them on, or if you had them left over from you know, roasting them, or parsnips or anything like that, then of course this is a really good way to use up any leftovers without them going into the bin, which we don't like in this house. We like to use up all the food that we use and buy. So if I can just take an opportunity to ask, if before we move on to the next step, if you're not already a subscriber, if you could consider to subscribe. It really would mean the world to me. It doesn't cost you anything. It would be a lovely Christmas present for me to continue to grow this channel. We only started this channel in March of this year, February of this year, and we're now in December. I've been doing my Slimming World journey for over 6 months now, just over 6 months, and I have managed to lose 4 stone 1.5 pounds in that time. Being able to grow my subscribers would mean that I can continue to be successful on my Slim World journey, and of course create more and more of these lovely videos for yourselves at home. So thank you very much. Let's move on to the recipe. Okay guys, so let's just quickly run through the ingredients. As I mentioned earlier on, we're all prepared, ready to go. So first of all, we've got the juice of 1 lemon and the zest of 1 lemon as well, just in this little ramekin. We of course have got our dried thyme and sage. These are just from Asda, they were the only ones we could get. And they're obviously not fresh, but I'm hoping that they will still give us a really good flavour as well. We have our potatoes, our Maris Piper potatoes, and we also have the Brussels sprouts. These have been parboiled for about 5 minutes just to help soften them up a little bit, because they are going to go into our lovely big air fryer here. We have the turkey mini fillets, which have been sliced up. Each fillet has been cut up into about 3 chunks. So hopefully we should be able to make around 4 kebabs with what we've got in front of us. And we've of course got our smooth cranberry sauce, which is 1 sin per level tablespoon. Of course this is optional, as I mentioned earlier as well. If you wanted to use another sauce, or if you didn't want to use a sauce at all, then feel free not to. Another little idea that I've got in my head is that you could use the Slimming World onion gravy, which would be sin-free if you wanted to sort of brush or dip these into the sin-free gravy as well. So of course it's up to you. We've got our Fry Light spray here, which again is 0 sins. We have our Slimming World pork sausages that I have defrosted and I've cut in half, just so they sit nicely onto our little skewers. And talking of skewers, I have soaked these in water for about 20 minutes. These are the bamboo version. We couldn't get any metal versions unfortunately, and the ones we used to have, the metal ones, they are long gone. So always pre-soak if you're using a bamboo skewer so it doesn't burn in the air fryer or in the oven if you're going to be cooking it in the oven. And as I said, the sausages are sin-free, they're the Slimming World range. And finally we have our bacon medallions, which are sin-free. All of the fat has been cut off, and these are the Simon Howie brand, which you guys will have seen me talk about in previous videos and previous hauls. But what I have done is I've cut each medallion into sort of strips, and I've stretched each strip out just to make sure that it's got enough sort of flexibility to wrap around the pork sausages to make our little mini pigs in blankets. So let's get started. I'm really excited to see how these work out. Okay, so I've got my bowl in front of me here. This will come in useful in a wee second, because what we're going to do now is we're going to add in the sausages, the turkey, the potato and the sprouts into this bowl. So let's just do that now. So this is our sausages. Our turkey, or sorry, yeah, it is a turkey, I'm getting confused there. We've also got our potatoes and our Brussels sprouts that we'll just add in. There we go. So what we're going to do now is add in the lemon zest to this mix. And I've just found a little seed in the lemon, so just take that out, sorry. There we go. Right, so there we go, that's all the lemon zest and the juice. And we've also got to add in our herbs as well. So on our recipe list today, it does ask for 1 tablespoon of chopped fresh thyme. So let's start off by doing that first. So this is our thyme here. And we'll just pop in a level sort of tablespoon. Don't want this to be too overpowering. Yeah, I think that should be okay. So I'll just kind of sprinkle that all over. And it does, as I said earlier, ask for 8 fresh sage leaves. But what I'm going to do instead is just do a tablespoon again, because it's sin-free, and I'm going to just match it with thyme so it's quite balanced. Now thyme and sage are usually quite powerful, but this does smell like Christmas dinner, 100%. It smells like stuffing. Add this on. Yeah, it's close enough, isn't it? So again, we'll just sort of sprinkle that over. Another thing that's coming to mind there is that you can get the sin-free Sunworld pork stuffing balls, which could also be added to this skewer as well if you wanted to, if you had them at home, or if you wanted to go out and buy a few ingredients to make this type of snack, then, you know, by all means you can. I think, you know, as I said earlier, you can add in whatever you want to add into this, but it really is very versatile. You can have it maybe on the side of, you know, a sort of buffet. You could have it with like little snacks, as sort of canapes, little mini ones, or you could have it as a side to something like a soup. And I think it's a really great way. It is a great way of using up waste vegetables or any meats that you might have from a roast dinner as well. It doesn't have to be purely Christmas, but just any sort of time of the year that you're wanting to use up extra vegetables like this. I think it is a really, really good recipe to use. So now we've done that, we've added in our seasoning, our spice, or sort of herbs, sorry. What I think I'll do now is just get a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. So just make sure that we can sort of season this very well, because I don't like plain Brussels sprouts and I don't like plain potatoes. I like there to be some flavouring around them. Same as well with the sausages. The sausages are actually not too bad, but you know, if we're wanting to pack this with a lot of flavour, aren't we? And I'll just quickly grab some black pepper as well. So we'll just add in our black pepper. Go. So we've already preheated the air fryer, but what it is asking me to do now in the recipe is to wrap the bacon around the sausage halves to make pigs in blankets. So yeah, that seems a little bit back to front because it's asked us to put all of the sausages, the turkey, the potato and the sprouts in a large bowl. But anyway, what we'll do now is we'll just give everything a bit of a stir around and coat everything in our lovely seasonings and herbs. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? So now we need to make our little pigs in blankets. So that should be coated nicely. Quite happy with that. What do you think? Think it looks okay? Hopefully you do. So put this down, and as I said, I think the recipe could be written a little bit easier. It's asked us to put our sausages, turkey, potato and sprouts in a bowl, add the lemon zest, juice, herbs and some seasoning and toss and stir well, which we've done. It's now asking us to wrap the bacon around the sausage to make pigs in blankets. So our air fryer has been preheated just a little bit. We don't have to do that, but I did just want to do that in advance of this video. Spray the potato and the pigs in blankets with low calorie cooking spray and air fry for 10 minutes. So we've got a little bit of work to be getting on with, so let's do that now. So this is our bacon that I spoke about earlier that we've cut into strips. I will just show you what they look like. So that's the strips there. So I think they should be fine. But as I said, give them a wee bit of a stretch. And if you've got quite good bacon like this, it shouldn't stretch too much. If it stretches and it sort of pulls apart, there's too much water in your bacon, whereas this is really good quality. It's quite turgid, and it's not going to fall to pieces, we hope. Let's get on with making our pigs in blankets. So I think preheat the air fryer, spread the potato and pigs in blankets. I think I might get another little bowl or plate. It might be easier to do that this way round. Yeah, so I think I'll just use this bowl here. It's the first one I can grab and put my hand on, to be honest. So yeah, we've got our sausages here. Obviously they have been defrosted, and we'll just wrap this round, try to make it quite firm. There we go, I think that looks okay. So put those down there. Try to keep the fold underneath just so it doesn't kind of split and fall apart. I'll just double check we don't have any rogue sausages lying in here. No, that's everything. So I'm just going to give my hands a quick wash again, and then we will get on with the next step, which is to put our pigs in blankets and our potatoes in the air fryer. Okay, so that's my hands washed and dried, and we will now add the potato and the pigs in blankets into the air fryer. We will cover with low calorie cooking spray, which is of course our fry light, and we're then going to add it into the air fryer and cook at 180 for 10 minutes. So let's do that now. And now I'm going to just put our pigs in blankets in here. I hope these behave and they better stay together in the air fryer. So what we'll do now is we'll just use our fry light spray, and we will spray everything with this oil. Make sure we get in here. Right, so let's move this out of the way. So it's 180 for 10 minutes, so let's do that now. 180 for 10 minutes. Let's start. Okay, so I'm just going to put my little trivet down on the worktop here, just so we can pull the drawer out. What I have noticed with my new air fryer is that it gets extremely hot on the bottom, which is fantastic, but I don't want to damage my worktop, so always be careful and put a trivet down. So yeah, we'll just take this drawer out, which, wow, these look fantastic. I'm really, really impressed with those. So yeah, what we're going to do now is I've got a little red chopping board here. We do have a Joseph chopping board set, and they're all different colours for like red meat, raw meat would be red, white would be cooked food, etc. Blue would be fish, and green is vegetables. But because there has been raw meat mixed through all of this, I just want to be extra cautious and use this here. So what we'll do just now is I've got our little skewers here, and what the instructions are telling us to do now is to thread the potatoes and the pigs in blankets onto the skewers, and add on the turkey and the sprouts as well. So I'm just going to do that randomly. I think I'm going to start off with a pig in blanket, just because it does look really good, and try not to burn myself because these are incredibly hot. But what I will do is put the pig in blanket sort of skewer, if you like, through the fold at the bottom, just to make sure that that kind of reinforces the structure a little bit as well. And then I think we'll do a potato, which actually they look pretty good. Oh, these are hot. Stating the obvious. We'll do a potato, we will do a Brussels sprout, we'll do a bit of turkey. So I might just fold this over actually, this piece of turkey, I don't know. Maybe fold it over a little bit there. And then we'll do that again, hopefully, should be okay. So again, we'll put the skewer through the fold at the bottom where possible. And we will add on maybe a little bit of a smaller potato this time round. And a Brussels sprout. That's quite a big one. So pigs in blanket, potato, Brussels sprout, turkey, pig in blanket, potato, Brussels sprout and a bit of turkey. And I think that looks pretty good if I say so myself. So what I'll do is I'll just pop this down on our board. Because they are quite big skewers, like I said earlier, I think we'll probably use 4 of them, and because the air fryer door is pretty big, we can put it across the full sort of length of the air fryer if you like. So I'll just get on with doing the rest of these. So this is what our kebabs look like. So all we need to do now is just take out the remaining little bits of potato from the air fryer. I might even just leave them in there as a little bit of an extra on the side. Yeah, I think I'll just do that. I'll just cook them anyway. And so these will go into the air fryer on 180 and we will cook them for around 5 minutes. Now it may need longer than that, but go by your own instructions and always make sure that your meat is cooked thoroughly all the way through. So I'm just going to pop these into the air fryer now and we will see how they turn out at the end. Okay, so we have had our skewers in the air fryer for 15 minutes. So first of all, we started off at 180 for 10 minutes on side up. We then flipped them over once that was finished and finished cooking for 5 minutes. So I'm really excited to take a look and see how these look. I've never made anything like this before in an air fryer, but I'm really hoping that they look as good as they smell, because this kitchen smells absolutely amazing. So let's see what we've got. Oh my goodness, look at them, they look amazing. Look at that. Don't they just look incredible? I'm really, really happy with them. So what I'm going to do now is just close this over, keep them nice and warm, and I will plate them up and show you a little bit closer once they are all tidied up and ready to eat. Okay, so we have the finished product here. We have our Christmas kebabs, our Christmas on a stick. I am really, really impressed with how these have turned out. I honestly didn't expect them to look or smell as good as what they have, but my goodness, if you make these, you will not be disappointed. So first of all, let's just have a bit of a closer look and I'll run through things a little bit more in detail. So as you can see, we've got our pigs in blankets, all sin-free, our roast potatoes, again sin-free, with our vegetable, our Brussels sprout and some turkey. So in our little dish here, we have some cranberry sauce. I have put a bit more than I normally would in there just so you guys can actually see it, because it's quite a big bowl. But what I will say is that of course you can make these sin-free by not adding a sauce to them, or as I said earlier, you can use other sauces like perhaps the onion gravy on Summer World, which you can find in Food Warehouse or Iceland. So what I will say is obviously the sin value only comes from using the sauce, but what I was thinking is I've got a little trusty brush here, and if you didn't want to dip them in as such, you could just lightly brush them with a little bit of sauce. And to be honest, I probably wouldn't count the sins on this if I just had a little bit of brush, but I think a little brush of the sauce probably just gives you enough flavour for the sort of taste that you're kind of going for without using up too many sins. Personally for me, I wouldn't count the, you know, the sort of brush over if you like, but if you were being a little bit more sort of generous, then of course you would need to do that. So yeah, I'm just going to have a little bit of a bite. I'm really excited to try our turkey. That's really good. So absolutely delicious, really, really good. I wasn't sure about adding in the lemon zest and the lemon juice, but it does give it an excellent flavour and it really sort of lifts the dish up, I would think. I think without the lemon juice it probably would be a little bit samey, and I think you definitely need to add in some salt and pepper in there, which I did earlier on. So we do of course have our homemade sin-free pigs and blankets. So I'll just grab one off of the skewer. I have had to put the tray down to the side there, and I'll show you exactly what they look like up close. So this is our sin-free pig in blanket, and there are no sins attached at all to this, and I cannot wait to give this a wee bite. Delicious. So not sure if that's focusing for you guys at home because it is so small, but I would definitely recommend these. If you have enjoyed this video, I'm sorry for talking with my mouth full. Please remember to leave me a comment in the box below. I would really appreciate if you do make something like this at home, to let me know if you do and how it turns out for you. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I shall catch you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.